Well, hello. We are winding down the school year, and there's only two sections that I'm going to go over with you. Section 11.1 and the other one's 11.2. So anyway, they are going to just be dealing with square roots and, well, let's call them radical expressions. But we're just going to be looking at ways to simplify them. Um, just like a quick reminder, if we had, you know, like square root 36. Well, okay, to solve these, we've been working with these, so a lot of this is just going to seem like review. But anyway, it's just pretty much, you're asking yourself, what two numbers do you multiply themselves? Or what number do you multiply by itself to get 36? Well, square root of 36 has to be 6. All right. So what we're going to work with is just situations that are not going to be perfect squares. 36 is a perfect square. Like 49. 49 is also perfect square. Square root of 49 is going to be 7. So what if we have a number, say like square root of 28? Can we simplify this to get it in just a little bit different form? And yes, we can simplify it. We can't get rid of the square root altogether, but we can simplify this. And so you just look at it and you think, well, what are maybe some factors of 28 that are perfect squares? Well, you have 28, you have 4 times 7 is 28. So you have 4 times 7. 4 times 7 is 28. 7 is obviously, it's just a prime number, so that's not a perfect square. But 4 is a perfect square. And so this can be simplified into, it'd be actually 2 square root 7, but the steps to go through this work this way. Square root 4 times square root 7. I mean, that can be changed. 4 times 7 inside here can just be rewritten as square root 4 times square root 7. Well, square root 4, we all know that that is 2. So then you have 2 times square root 7, which, in simplest form is just 2 square root 7. So square root 28 is simplified to 2 square root 7. I will do some more examples with you. Let's do let's see, 98. Let's do square root 98. Square root 98. 98 is not a perfect square, but there's some factors of this that are. 2 times 49. Okay. 2 times 49 is equal to 98. And we don't necessarily have to break it down in this far as what we've got. You can just look at this and realize, well, 49 is a perfect square, so the square root of 49 then is just going to be 7. So 7 can come out. There you have 7. And then the 2 stays in, so you have 7 square root 2. Simplifies to that. We're going to have some with variables. Variables make this, they don't complicate it. In fact, I would say variables are just going to be easier. I will do some examples with variables. Alright, square root a squared. Alright. Well, again, you have to say what times itself will equal a squared. Well, a times a is a squared. So the square root of a squared, that simplifies to just a. If we had square root a cubed, okay, well, that can be rewritten as a times a squared. So we have a times a squared. Well, square root of a, we can't do anything with that. That just stays square root a. But a squared can just be a. So this further simplifies to a square root a. I don't know why. A square root a. Square root of a squared is a, and then the other a just stays in. So yes, a cubed simplifies to a square root a. All right. Do some more. A to the fourth. That would be a squared times a squared, which basically simplifies to just a squared. I think you can see a pattern here. A to the fifth. Well, that's a times a to the fourth. I think you could even go from this step to this. A to the fourth simplifies to a squared, and the a just stays in. A to the fifth simplifies to a squared, square root a. Okay, I want to have it where we have a couple variables inside, and maybe even some numbers inside. So, looking at this, 98 a cubed b squared, all underneath the square root bar. Let's simplify that and just do one step at a time. 98, that was one we had done earlier. A cubed, we have done that one earlier. B squared, well, it's very similar to a squared. Taking the square root of all these and simplifying this. 98 can be written as 2 times 49. A cubed can be a squared times a. B squared, well, b times b. All right, so taking the square root of these, 2 stays inside, but 49, we know that's going to be a 7. So 7 comes out. A squared, we can simplify that. Square root of a squared is just a. So then the 2 stays inside, this a stays inside, and we can take out one of the b's. B squared, simplifies to b. So both of those will come out. And you are left with 2 and an a. So 98 a cubed b squared simplifies to square root of 98 a cubed b squared simplifies to 7ab square root 2a. If you have any questions on the assignments, I think you'll be able to go through these pretty well. It's fairly straightforward on this, but if you have questions, please come to our Zoom calls, or my email or text, you can get a hold of me that way. Thank you.